Yeah. Today, we're going to be exploring a fascinating study conducted by Randy Sinchfield and Ken C. Winters titled Gambling and Problem Gambling Among Youth. This study investigates gambling behaviors among young people, highlighting their exposure to gambling activities, the prevalence of problem gambling, and associated risk factors.
Alright, so as for the hypothesis in the study suggests that increased accessibility and normalization of gambling might in fact contribute to higher rates of problem gambling among youths compared to adults. The authors predicted that the first generation to grow up with legal gambling venues and pervasive gambling advertising would experience unique challenges related to gambling addiction. So the null hypothesis in this case would be that there is no significant difference in weekly or daily gambling rates between different grade levels and genders. And the alternative hypothesis is that there is a significant difference in weekly or daily gambling rates between different grade levels and genders.
Just take mine.
The data was gathered through large-scale surveys administered by the Minnesota Department of Education in 1992 and 1995. These surveys sampled Minnesota public school students across different grades, primarily examining gambling behaviors and potential issues. The study leveraged the South Oaks Gambling Screen for identifying problem gambling behaviors, which helped in classifying youth as non-gamblers, social gamblers, and problem gamblers.
While analyzing the data, we noticed that the graph suggests a trend over time in gambling frequency for each group. While gambling frequencies for 12-game boys remain high, the percentage for other groups are lower and relatively stable. This could indicate that older male students are more likely to engage in gambling, suggesting a possible correlation between age, gender, and gambling frequency.
So, as for the conclusions of the study determined that while most youth engage in gambling casually, a small percentage exhibited behaviors characteristic of problem gambling. Alarmingly, youth problem gambling rates were estimated to be higher than adult rates, particularly among male adolescents. This finding underscores the need for targeted prevention and intervention strategies to address youth vulnerability to gambling addiction.
Do a hypothesis? Okay.
So as for why this study is relevant, this research is critical because it sheds light on an emerging public health issue. Youth in the study were the first to encounter widespread legalized gambling, as this was back in the 1990s, and also the first to encounter advertisements that glamorized gambling, often omitting the associated risks. This normalization could influence youth perception, making gambling appear as low risk or even a beneficial activity. Additionally, the study raises awareness of how problem gambling may co-occur with other risky behaviors, such as substance use, necessitating integrated prevention efforts.
As for how can this study be improved? So, there are different ways to improve the study. First of all, to enhance the study, researchers could use a more representative sample, more recent data, more age groups, enhanced focus on different psychological and environmental risk factors, and ensure that there's a balanced gender sample. There's also a need to conduct further testing to analyze the results of this study. Thank you.